What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to the Subspace Emissary. Last time, we went through the subspace and collected all of the character trophies after Taboo turned everyone into trophies. This time, we're heading into Taboo's Great Maze. And it is going to be interesting for sure, but we have to do something before we can actually enter. I want to go to stickers because we have 7 different characters that I need to go through before we go in, because once we go into the Great Maze, it's one long cut. It's basically one long level. So first we have Luigi, and we're just gonna rapid fire through these. So we have Luigi, we have Ness, which has a lot of energy and PK stuff. We have Bowser, who, being a powerhouse, just has a lot of launching capabilities. Next up should be Ganondorf. Then Wario. Then we have King DDD, I believe, is next. And the final one is Rob. Alright, and with that, we can go ahead and head back to the map and start the Great Maze. There is one cutscene in this entire level, and it's at the very end. So, to start this off, I'm just going to pick some of my favorite characters that I am decent at using at the very least. We'll do Mr. Game & Watch, and the last one will be Pikachu. You get 4 characters throughout this entire thing, but you are allowed to pick different characters throughout it, and I'll explain once we get there. But to start this off, we're just going to head through this first door. So, to explain what we're doing, because if you're watching this without actually ever playing the game, it might be a little bit confusing. So Taboo took over all the colonies that were exploded by those subspace bombs, like I explained last episode. So what we're doing right now is we're basically just going through all the colonies. But because all the colonies have all the bosses and everything from those colonies, as well as the shadow bugs that I've explained before, we have to fight all 31 characters that we have access to, as well as every single boss we have fought in the game up to this point, as well as you can see, go through all of the areas we have previously gone through. I'm actually using a guidebook right now. The Prima official game guide is what the book is called. And it has a map for this final level, which I will be using because, like I said, this level is super long and is very easy to get lost in if you just kind of run around in a circle without having any type of guide. If I could just take Pit out, I would be very grateful. I'm using my main here. Okay. Alright, Pit, I need you to die because I don't want to deal with you anymore. We're gonna spike you. Alright, that was interesting. Hell of a dodge, Pit, if I'm being honest. The other thing, like I said, I'm using a map, and I'll be sure to put it on screen so you know what map I'm using. I also have different checkpoints for each of the for each part that I'm going to be doing, because, like I said, this is going to be a very long maze. In my test run of this place, it ended up being, I think, an hour and a half long for this one level, so it'll end up being probably about 4 parts. And I just want to grab this so I can get as much of a percent as I can. The reason I say it like that is because I not guaranteeing that I'm going to 100% this place because of how complicated it is. The other thing I'm going to be doing, which I'll show right here, we're just going back to this door where we fought the PD Piranha. And if we go through these doors, the orangish doors with the orb middle, and hop up here, we can actually character select again. And I have 3 characters that I still haven't played as because they were all the bad guys. So the first one I want to go over is Bowser, and then I'm going to be using a random number generator to get the rest of the characters. So that's a 1, which is Mario. We have 31 characters. 1 is Mario, 31 is Snake, and then I'll just be going down the rows to get each number. So the next one is 5, which is Yoshi. I mean, 4 is not likely to be used, so we'll just go with Kirby. But Bowser, we're just going to run through a little bit, and I'll be definitely have to fight with him because like I said before, we have to fight every character, and it's it's very unlikely that a character will go without fighting in this level. But Bowser is ranked 33 out of 38. We just have to go through this door. He is one of the most powerful characters in the game, in both terms of racking up percentage, as well as having just massive launch back moves like that. He is a very heavy character, so he is very hard to launch. And if Kirby will just get back here and let me launch him, that would be great. Yeah, that's Kirby. Like you could see right there, I hit him with like 4 moves and Kirby just basically gave up. The bad thing is he's a heavyweight and he's large, which makes him very easy to kind of juggle. And I just want to jump up here because as we saw in the second level of the whole game, there is a gold box there. Or there is a box there. Here there is a gold box. Bowser is also, like I said, he's very easy at being comboed. If I could fucking not get wombo comboed by that thing, I do not want a big Bowser. If we're being honest, I don't want a big Bowser. Yep, that's what I thought would happen. Oh, there's no ledge there, apparently. He has poor movement. Well, that was definitely a fight. I was expecting a little bit more fight, Link. Jesus Christ. But Bowser has a lot of end lag and a lot of landing lag on a lot of his moves, which makes him have a lot of bad mobility, and it basically just makes him a lot slower than a lot of other characters. But the next character we have to go over is Ganondorf, and I pulled 3, which is fitting with Link. 20 is... This is 21, so that would be 20... No, wait, that's not right. 14... Yeah, that's 21. So Wario. And then 14 is Zelda. So I'm just playing Legend of Zelda, apparently. I got Ganondorf, Link, and Zelda. But our next character is Ganondorf. He is the worst rank in the game at 38 out of 38. He gets this distinction from being just overall not a great character. I want to go back through here so I can get that box. Like I said, I'm going to try to 100% this because I would like to have a 100% file in this game. I think I've done it once before, but it's very difficult with this level. But the good things about Ganondorf, like Bowser, he's basically just a powerhouse. He's a heavyweight. Has super powerful attacks, which allow him just to really knock people around in both racking up damage and in the sense of, is there anything actually over there that I need? I don't think so. in the sense of launching opponents, which in a mode like this, being able to launch opponents is very useful. It's very nice to be able to just go, yep, no need to worry about doing too much damage. Can I... Ganondorf? Ganondorf. Ganondorf. I need you to break the block. That was interesting, to say the least. We just need to run over here and break this. And I believe we do not want to go through that door yet, because we need to fight this boss that's right here. I'll show the map once we get to the next save point, but it is a lot to take in all at once. The biggest downside to Ganondorf is his poor mobility, as well as him being a heavyweight and tall, which makes him very easy to juggle and edge guard. As you can see, I'm just being destroyed. He does have a really good edge guarding tool though, which is what I showed right there. It's his Meteor Smash, also I call it a spike, but the Meteor Smash allows him to basically just throw people off the edge and then send them straight down, which allows him to edge guard really easily, actually. But with that, we should be at G on this map, and I do not want that to be the end of him. That was a hell of a punch. As you can see, a lot of Ganondorf's moves are very slow, which causes him to be kind of hard to use, which probably why he is the lowest rank. Also, that was a nice hit. Take all these guys out with that move. It also makes him really hard to use in maps where a lot of those enemies are at, because if you are bad with mobility, it's hard to run against the wind like that. But now we are fighting Diddy Kong, fighting one of the best ranked characters with one of the worst. Oh, and he's gone. Also, if you're paying attention to how the rankings are, that does mean that the Legend of Zelda characters are like the bottom 4, and we are just trying to take out Diddy Kong. He has good mobility, which will make this kind of difficult. I want to see if I can get him with a bomb. Also, if you see me looking down, it's me either looking at my notes about the characters that I'm talking about, or looking at my map. Another thing about Ganondorf is that he has 0 projectiles, which actually makes it very hard for him to approach characters with his low mobility plus no projectiles. But with that, we are on to our next character select, and our last character we have to go over here is Wario. And we got 29, which is Ike. We got 12, which is Bowser. And we got another 14, which is Zelda. The reason I want to use the random number generator, by the way, is because I want to... Basically, I want to use it to... I want to go up, actually, here. I want to use it to guarantee I get as much variety between the characters that I'm using throughout this level as possible. Oh, this is an awful stage for Wario. Oh, why was this the move? But Wario is ranked 10 out of 38. He actually has pretty good air mobility, which allows him to deal a lot of damage with his aerials as long as he doesn't get launched very far. We're actually going to grab these bunny ears to make him even more agile. He also has a lot of things going for him. Between his good airspeed, his small frame, and the fact that he is actually a heavyweight, he has pretty good survivability. I'm actually needs to flip this. He has really good survivability with all of those things, and I'm glad that I'm using him for this part specifically because he has the best mobility out of any of the 3 characters we actually needed to go over. But we just need to run through here. Wario actually does have pretty decent recovery options as long as he has all of his recovery options, which may sound confusing, but I'll explain in a second. He actually has 3 recovery options, and we just need to dodge that and go in here. He has his side special, which is his bike, which actually can explode if you allow it to. He has his down special, which is the Wario Waft, which I almost exploded from that. And then he has his actual recovery, which is the worst recovery option out of all of them. His bike actually allows him to jump off of it and get pretty good air, if I can get off of this. Yeah, that's going to be the end of Snake. His Wario Waft, once it's fully charged, actually also sends him basically straight up. We're just going to dodge that and take out this Primid so I don't have to actually deal with that, and take this Franklin badge to try to avoid... I am being... Whoa! Well, I'm at 267%, and that's his actual recovery. Can we not? I would prefer not doing that. And then we just need to go down here and actually go through this door. But we need to get Weavile first. We got a lot of Pokemon so far. We got Riolu and then a Weavile. More stuff about Wario. He actually is decently good at like approaching, and I'm actually going to just re-up his health because if we go through here and enter here, it actually will redo his health, and I'm just going to pick Wario again because I still want to talk about him. We got a 9, which is Luigi. We got a 30, which is Rob. And we got a 26, which is 28, 26 is Pokemon Trainer. And as you can see, once you go through there, he actually resets his health. What I was saying is that Wario actually, being decently fast in the air, he is decently good at actually approaching opponents, even without any real projectile to speak of. We just need to fall down here and get this key, is the word I'm looking for, to go through here, and then we just need to, I guess, breakdance. If we fall down here, there'll be another boss fight that we need to take care of, which is the whole reason we came down here. But yeah, Wario has no projectile, but with being so agile, he's actually decently good at approaching opponents. Between his motorcycle and his... That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. You can't jump this high. I have the high ground. Wario's biggest downside is that if he doesn't have all of his recovery options, he's actually pretty bad at recovering. Because his actual recovery doesn't give him enough upward momentum or upward what is the word? He doesn't give him enough verticality to actually give him the recoveries that he needs if he doesn't have his bike or if he doesn't have a fully charged Wario Waft. We just need to go back up here because, again, I want to grab Wario. Because, again, I still have stuff to talk about with him. There is so much to talk about Wario, actually. And as you can see here, actually, I want to point out, this is what we have unlocked of the map so far. I apparently missed going through a door. Actually, I think I skipped that door because there's nothing actually there. That's right. But we are going to grab Wario once again. And then we have 29. which is Ike again. We have 19, which is Ganondorf. Then we have 23, which is Olimar. I don't think did I don't think I actually said what Wario's rank is, which is very funny actually. Wario's rank is 10 out of 38, which means he's actually the highest rank out of the three characters we talked about, which is not difficult when the other two were 33 and dead last. Come on, guys. We're gonna skip that Maximado because I don't want to actually deal with these enemies if I can avoid it. Because all we have to do is run back up through here. And then once we're up through here, we just need to make our way through the air, through the outside of the Halbert. Which is weird that the Halbert's here, right? Because it shouldn't be. Like I said before, these colonies are based on the areas that exploded from the subspace bomb. But the Halbert wasn't exploded by a subspace bomb. It was destroyed by the like giant turret things that they had on the subspace cannon. So realistically, the Halbert shouldn't be part of this. And we're just going to go back like that so I don't have to deal with that guy following me. And there should be another gold box right here. But like I was saying, I wanted to just show off more of Wario being really good in the air. Despite being a heavyweight, as you can see there, he has a really good neutral air, being able to spin like that and deal a lot of damage in that way. I actually want to, there's a door down here. I'm going to skip that door for a second, because if we go farther this way, also his up air is actually just incredibly good for launching opponents away and doing a lot of damage all at once. But we have Ness next, which is actually not a great matchup to Wario, because Ness has the projectiles that Wario has a trouble with. But that should be the end of Ness, and we should have just a couple more to go in this, not in this stage, but this episode. Well, just leave that guy to deal with his own vices. Slap that guy, run away from this shell. The other thing is that Wario actually is pretty decent against comboers and being juggled, because he is a heavyweight with the lighter frame. Or not with a lighter frame, with a smaller frame, which makes him significantly harder to juggle than other heavyweights are. But we just need to run over here. And when I say juggle, not jungle, I mean in both terms of juggling and in terms of... Okay, all of those enemies just killed themselves. I mean in terms of juggling and in being comboed, as well as being actually edge-guarded. But with that being said, this is the first checkpoint that I wanted to get to in the Great Maze. So, I hope that everyone enjoyed watching this first episode. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we're going to continue the Great Maze. But until then, happy adventuring!